Baltimore, his father was a mudder. His mother was a mudder. Yes, this horse loves the slop. No, Mystik Dan doesn't need a sloppy track, or Seinfeld character Cosmo Kramer's comedic endorsement, in the Preakness Stakes on Saturday, because the Kentucky Derby winner has raced and thrived in all kinds of conditions. Still, after initial favorite Muth was scratched at midweekend with rain in the forecast potentially mucking up the dirt, Mystik Dan looks like the horse to beat in the second leg of Thoroughbred Racing's Triple Crown Series. To win, he'll have to contend with Bob Baffert-trained Imagination, Brad Cox's Catching Freedom and others in the field of 8 at Pimlico Racecourse. It's not a given. We've got to run a good race, Mystik Dan trainer Kenny McPeak said Thursday. It's still not an easy race. There's no guarantees, and it's a very humbling sport, but right now we've got everything in line. All eyes are on Mystik Dan after what happened at Louisville's Churchill Downs on May 4, the Kentucky Derby's first three-way photo finish since 1947, back when horse racing was the sport of kings and captured national attention more than a few times a year. A victory on Saturday would bring absurd hype if a Triple Crown is on the line June 8 in the Belmont Stakes, which is being held at historic Saratoga Racecourse in upstate New York for the first time as Belmont Park on Long Island undergoes a 2-year renovation. That's 3 weeks away and far from the minds of those around Mystik Dan, who are focused on putting all the pieces in place for another strong showing in the Preakness. And while McPeak insists he is not worried about the weather because he cannot control it, exercise rider and two-time Preakness winner Robbie Alvarado said he would be doing a rain dance all this week because Mystik Dan blew away the competition in the mud at the Southwest Stakes on February 3. This cold, the only time he ran on an off-track, he excelled, assistant trainer Ray Briner said. It takes other horses' races away from them. Usually if you've got a mudder, they don't get slowed down much, whereas a lot of horses, they don't take to kickback that well. They don't feel as sure-footed in it, and they slip and slide a little bit. Mystik Dan slipped into the favorite role when Muth, also trained by Baffert, a member of the U.S. Racing Hall of Fame who is looking for his record-extending 9th Preakness victory, was ruled out Wednesday after his fever spiked. On Friday, Baffert said Imagination is going to have to step it up to win. His races, they've been good, but he needs to separate himself, and so he hasn't done it his last races, Baffert said. He's just been hanging in there with him. He's a horse I think that, off his last work, I was very encouraged by the way he's starting to realize it's okay to win, to go ahead and take off.